In this video, we're going to take our topic of right triangles and now expand on that past these special right triangles that we finished studying. When we were talking about those special right triangles, we had the 45, 45, 90, and we had the two legs of the right triangle that were congruent, and then the hypotenuse. And then we had the 30, 60, 90 special right triangle where you had a short leg, a long leg, and then the hypotenuse as well. But what happens when we don't have one of those special right triangles? There's other methods that we can use to figure out the side lengths. But in order to do that, we have to develop a new way of talking about sides in a triangle. Now, the terms here we already have seen before. So we're going to label parts of this right triangle here with these terms over here: hypotenuse, opposite side, and adjacent side. We know what the hypotenuse is. We've been using that all year. The hypotenuse is the side that is not touching the right angle, and it's the longest side. So here's our right angle. So the only side that doesn't touch that is this side right here, C. So this is the hypotenuse, or we can abbreviate that hype. The opposite side is the side not touching the angle we're talking about. Well, how do you determine which angle you're talking about? The problem will definitely tell you what angle you're referring to, or you will see this symbol here, and this is the Greek letter theta, which is another way to talk about angles. So if we're referring to this angle right here, this theta, the only side that doesn't touch that is side A right here. So this would be the opposite side. Then the last one is the adjacent side, the side connecting the angle we are talking about and the right angle. So again, that pink angle where theta is, we're talking about that angle, and the right angle I have outlined in green. So the side that connects those two is side B. So we would call that the adjacent and abbreviate that. Now, another way of thinking about adjacent is if you know what the hypotenuse is and you know what side is the opposite, well, the only one left is the adjacent side. So just make sure that you are labeling your sides correctly. Especially the hypotenuse, that one should be easy. That's always across from the box or the right angle. And the opposite side always is across or not touching the angle that you're being asked about. Now, the opposite and adjacent side are dependent on what angle you're talking about. So let's look at the same triangle here. Now, if I was referring to angle A, if this was where my theta was right here, then everything would look the same as it was up here. Your hypotenuse, opposite, and adjacent side would be. Again, the hypotenuse does not touch our right angle, so that is side C. Sorry, whoops, hypotenuse, side C. Your opposite side is the side that doesn't touch angle A, which again is right here. So this side A doesn't touch angle A. And the adjacent side is the one that is left over, or you can call it, refer to it as a side that touches the angle we're talking about, which is angle A in this case, and our right angle. Okay. But what if now we were referring to angle B? What if this was theta down here, angle B? Well, the hypotenuse stays the same. The hypotenuse is always across from this box. So C is still the hypotenuse. But now the opposite side is not going to be side A anymore because side A touches angle B. So the side that doesn't touch angle B is this side right here, side B. And then side A is the adjacent side since it touches angle B and angle C. So the hypotenuse stays the same, but you can see these switched depending on what angle you are talking about. So you got to be very careful and pay close attention to what angle are we talking about. Now, on the next page, I'll do one more, and then I'm going to have you do the other three. Try them and then compare the answers. So referring to angle A, okay, here's angle A right here. The hypotenuse is always across from your box, so I like to put that in first. That length is 25. Up here we were just labeling them like, is it side A, is it side B, is it side C? Now we have actual values. The hypotenuse is 25 units long. Now the opposite side, so what side doesn't touch angle A? That's this side right here. That does not touch angle A. That's 24 units long. And then your adjacent side, whoops, is right here because it touches angle A and the right angle, and that's 7. All right, so now let's refer to angle B. I'm going to erase this. So angle B is right here now. So this is my angle measurement, or theta. The hypotenuse, still the same. Hypotenuse, again, is always a side that doesn't touch the right angle. So 25. Then the opposite side does not touch angle B. So this side right here, that's 7 units long, does not touch my angle B. And then the adjacent side, well, this is the only one left over, but you can see this side connects my right angle and angle B, which is what I'm referring to right now. So that is 24. And again, you can see, whoops, you can see that these switched. So in theory, you could find the information for referring to angle A and then use that to get the information when referring to angle B. But for now, I want you to look at them both separately just so you guys get good and have the practice of identifying the opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse when referring to certain angles. So I'm going to ask you to pause the video, try these last two, and when you're done, unpause it and compare your answers to my answers. So here are my answers. Now for the last two, you might have noticed that there wasn't the box there, but also remember the hypotenuse is the longest side. So even though the box wasn't there, you should have been able to say, well, the hypotenuse is the longest side, so 15 and 41 for those. So those are the correct answers. Hopefully you guys are getting the hang of this, because we're going to have to be able to do this pretty quickly and pretty accurately later on. So if you need to rewatch the video so that you are almost absolutely certain when identifying your opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse sides. So thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe.